The film opens in London, wherever Albus Dumbledore, Jude Law, goes to a restaurant. He's met by Gellert Grindelwald, Mads Mikkelsen. Dumbledore is holding the blood accord they created to prevent them from fighting each other. He talks about how they won't be in love, but Grindelwald's hatred of Muggles has fueled his blood feud against them. Grindelwald tells Dumbledore that he will destroy the Muggle world with or without his help, and there's nothing that can be done to stop him. The film opens in London, wherever Albus Dumbledore, Jude Law, goes to a restaurant. He's met by Gellert Grindelwald, Mads Mikkelsen. Dumbledore is holding the blood accord they created to prevent them from fighting each other. He talks about how they won't be in love, but Grindelwald's hatred of Muggles has fueled his blood feud against them. Grindelwald tells Dumbledore that he will destroy the Muggle world with or without his help, and there's nothing that can be done to stop him. Grindelwald leaves and seems to set the place on fire. In China, Newt's commander, Eddie Redmayne, finds a creature known as a Qilin. The mother offers birth to a baby Qilin, which the salamander tries to take care of until he's found by Credence Barebone, Ezra Miller, Vinda Rosier, Poppy Corbytuch, and 2 alternative Grindelwald followers. They used the killing curse on the mother, prompting the salamander to run away with the baby. The villains catch up to him and incapacitate him, and they take the baby Qilin with them. The salamander returns to the dying mother, who is shocked to find out that she had twins, and therefore the other Qilin is unharmed. He takes the second baby with him, and jointly one of his creatures comes out of his case to fly them away to safety. Credence delivers the Qilin to Grindelwald. Once the followers leave, Grindelwald cradles the baby till he slits its throat and sees visions of the long run in her blood. This can be witnessed by a horror-struck Queenie Goldstein, Alison Sudol. She later goes to speak to Credence, who sees the words "Forgive me" written in fog on the mirror. The salamander brings his mythical brother, Callum Turner, to satisfy Dumbledore. They meet his older brother Aberforth, Richard Coyle, in an exceedingly pub. Albus shows them the blood accord and shows how it acts against him physically as a result of sensing his want to betray the pact in order that he will fight Grindelwald. They comply with the type of concept. Require him down. Back in New York, Jacob Kowalski's Dan Fogler bakeshop has fallen on hard times since he lost Queenie to Grindelwald's side. He even imagines seeing her return to him, however, he's still very depressed. Outside, an academic from Yankee Magic College, Ilvermorny, Eulalie Lally Hicks, Jessica Williams, is purportedly being harassed by 3 men. Jacob steps outside to confront them, but it seems Lally Collum was operating with them to urge Jacob's attention. Despite Jacob's refusal to be concerned in additional magic business, the Lally Collum convinces him to travel on the Devil as she uses a portkey to transport them away. Jacob and Lally Collum board a train to satisfy with salamanders, Theseus, Yusuf Kama, William Nadylam, and Newt's assistant Bunte Broadacre, Victoria Yates. They discuss a concept to defeat Grindelwald by attempting to confuse him, since he currently possesses the power to ascertain future events. Newt offers Jacob a wand that Dumbledore let him have for the purpose of lighting Grindelwald. Yusuf pops up to hitch Grindelwald's followers beneath the pretense of revealing Dumbledore, and manages to urge them through once Grindelwald confirms with Queenie, who reads Yusuf's mind, that he's telling the truth. Grindelwald additionally removes Yusuf's memory of his half-sister Leda to ease his pain over her death. The remainder of the cluster arrives in Berlin, Federal Republic of Germany, for a political rally, as there are presently 2 candidates vying for the position of Supreme Mugwump, Chinese Minister of Magic Lu Tao, Dave Wong, and Brazilian Minister Vicência Santos, Maria Fernanda Naive. Grindelwald is additionally there with the intent to throw his name into the race. German Minister Anton Vogel, Oliver Masucci, acquits Grindelwald of his crimes by allowing him to enter the race. Mythical being begins to follow Grindelwald's acolytes and is incapacitated and arrested. Before the salamander will pursue them, the Lally Collum tells him they're outnumbered and wouldn't stand a chance. Albus and Aberforth are having a quiet dinner together, their relationship clearly strained. They're visited by academic McGonagall, Fiona Glascott, who informs Albus of what's going on in Berlin. Aberforth also sees a message written on the mirror: "I understand what it's like to be alone." Buntai goes to urge Salamander SASE to be replicated for every member of the group. Meanwhile, Newt, Jacob, and Lally-Column decide to get Grindelwald's men to offer up the placement to wherever the mythical being is imprisoned, but to no avail. They're met by Dumbledore, who tells Newt the jail and where Theseus is. On the streets of London, Credence confronts Dumbledore and tries to use his obscurial powers on him after being ordered by Grindelwald to kill him. He additionally tells Albus to refer to him by his true name, Aurelius. Dumbledore fights back and subdues Credence, inserting him in an exceedingly stylish mirror realm. Once unhealthy, Albus tells Credence that whereas he's so a Dumbledore, he is not of a similar relationship that Grindelwald had led him to believe, meaning he is not Albus's brother. He is additionally aware that Credence and Aberforth are exchanging messages through the mirror. Albus apologizes to Credence for the pain he has caused, and he brings him back to reality wherever he helps him get back on his feet. Salamander goes to jail wherever he should leave. General, the Botruckle, and Teddy, the Niffler, in an exceedingly large locker beside his wand. The salamander uses a lamp and must make specific movements to keep the little scorpion creatures from offensive him, all while having to avoid the abundant larger beasts at the very bottom of the prison that pick random prisoners to devour and leave the remains for the limited ones. Salamander finds and frees a mythical being, barely managing to hightail it past the large scorpion once there. Retaliation, the Lally-Column creates a storm inside and escapes with Jacob. Salamander and mythical being rejoin everybody at Hogwarts. Dumbledore leads all of them to a portkey of his own, where they come to Aberforth's pub. At night, Salamander overhears the brothers talking about how Credence is actually Aberforth's son that he formed with a woman he met at Godric's Hollow. Salamander speaks to Albus, who talks about his sister from the urban center, who was additionally an obscurial and lived past the steered age most kids with the affliction live past. Albus explains that he and Aberforth got into an argument once he failed to support Albus's relationship with Grindelwald. The three of them played with their wands, and a stray blast killed Ariana as she weakened the stairs. Albus and Aberforth have lived with this guilt ever since. The cluster later travels to an Asian country as the moment of the election attracts nearby populations, wherever the Qilin are going to be wont to decide who is pure of heart and ought to be leading the witching world. Grindelwald has enchanted the Qilin that he killed and manipulated it in his favor. Once subduing his henchmen, the cluster involves the front even as the bewitched Qilin bows to Grindelwald. He rallies his individuals around him and tries to use Jacob's assassination attempt as an incentive to travel against the Muggles. Buntai then shows up with the case containing the important Qilin, and it bows to Albus first, but he say, "There should be somebody else worthy." The Qilin bows to Santos, making her the official new leader. Grindelwald tries to use the killing curse on Credence for failing him continuously, but Albus and Aberforth draw their wands and deflect the attack, breaking the blood pact for good. Albus and Gellert duel concisely before the Mad Wizard makes his escape. Because the individuals celebrate Santos's victory, Aberforth finds Credence growing weaker as the obscurial curse sets out to kill him. He offers to bring his son home at last, which Credence accepts. The cluster returns to New York, wherever Queenie returns with her friends and marries Jacob at the bakery. As Salamander prepares his groomsman speech, he's reunited with Tina, Catherine Watterson, who has been busy as she was promoted to be the Auror of Makusa. Before going back inside, the salamander speaks concisely to Dumbledore. He watches the ceremony from outside and leaves to go home alone. Thank you for your watching.